Well, hello there, and welcome to another episode of Barrel Full of Daryl. This is a special episode for you guys today. I am visiting family in Bremerton, Washington, and I have with me in the studio my daughter, Megan.
Hello.
And my wonderful son-in-law, Kenzie.
Hi, everyone.
Let me say my remarkable Megan.
And beautiful.
And beautiful, yeah. So today is it's kind of a different format. We're still going to discuss music and movies, but it's going to be a discussion and not me reading from a script. So we'll be discussing firstly the band Eagles, and then we'll be discussing a great movie called The Big Lebowski. Now, my daughter Megan is basically an encyclopedia on the band Eagles.
I don't know about that.
And Kenzie's basically an encyclopedia on everything.
Yeah, yes,
So
that is true.
It should be good listen for you. Let's get going, shall we?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Talk about the Eagles first.
Yeah.
So, who are the Eagles? Where are they from? When did they get started? Well, they formed in California in 1970, I believe.
71.
71. And the founding members are
Glenn Fry from Detroit and Don Henley from Linden, Texas.
okay, Glenn Fry and Don Henley. And they basically became the primary members of the band, the songwriting.
I think they met through Linda Ronstadt.
Yeah, that's right.
And then they were part of her band, and then they realized, I just want to be in a band with each other.
Yeah.
So they started, and then Linda Ronstadt recommended Bernie Ledden to join. Well, the guitar.
As a guitarist?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Bernie Ledden.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's three members.
Mm-hmm.
Bernie Ledden was the first lead guitarist, correct?
I think so.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
And they also picked up Randy Meisner.
Randy Meisner, because he can sing high.
He was from Poco, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And he joined the group as well.
Yep.
With Linda Ronstadt. Is that right?
I don't recall Randy joining Linda, but
okay. Bernie did, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
She introduced him to Bernie.
And so those three members basically, they enjoyed what they were doing with Ronstadt, but they wanted to go on their own, form their own band.
Mm-hmm.
And were they originally called Eagles?
Pretty sure.
Pretty sure too.
Yeah.
I don't know of any other band name they had before that.
No, it's like their individual bands growing up, but I don't.
How did they come up with the name, the Eagles?
Can't hear you.
I don't know.
Oh,
if memory serves, I think that they were speaking with their photographer, and
he took them out to the desert.
Yeah,
and they all had peyote buttons,
right.
And they all got stoned to the gills, and they were up all night. And I think Bernie woke up.
Glenn.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And there was an eagle flying.
Yeah.
Over the campsite. But I think they have the band name Eagles.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That?
He said the eagle flew by and was like, Eagles, huh? Yeah, I don't think so. And then
that's right.
Flew away.
So they already had the name, but that was the story behind their one of their album covers.
That's right.
They're fold out.
Yeah, that got glued together.
The original album, the first one, the Eagles, or was it from their second one? I don't remember.
Remember the order of them, right? Toilet.
I know for the their second album. What was its title? On the Border. They all did the get up thing with cowboy outfits, and we watched that in the documentary, right?
Yeah. I think it was their original album that had that cover.
Yeah, Eagles 72. Yeah.
Okay.
It also explains why they didn't have the budget to go and redo that mistake where they had glued it together.
Yeah.
So it was a big fold-out album to begin with. I mean, it would open once and then open again.
That was the idea, yeah. So you got like a poster
like a
for your
full
wall.
poster size thing. But the record producers, he nixed that and glued it together.
Yeah. You open it up and you got this upside down picture that doesn't make
of the
sense.
Eagles around the campfire, and that's yeah.
So what was their first hit? Take It Easy?
Probably.
Yeah, now that you mention that, let's go into like personal stories, because Megan and I, we got married and we had the Eagles as our two of our wedding songs, right? Take It Easy.
Peaceful, Easy Feeling.
Easy Feeling.
That's like one of our songs for sure. So come on, it kind of
Their debut studio album, Eagles, 1972, spawned 2 top 20 singles, Take It Easy and Witchy One.
Those were their first two?
That was their first 2 hits off the band, off their eponymous album, their first one. And did you guys use those songs in your wedding?
No, Peaceful, Easy Feeling is like the one that was our song. It just kind of became our song because it would come on at these like big moments for us, and like
in times when I was deployed.
Yeah, about to deploy, something like that. Yeah.
And the other one that we had was what was it called? I just said it. Peaceful Easy Feeling was the one that we walked. That was our first one that we came out introduced as Mr. and Mrs. Moy, right?
Cool. Yeah. Yeah.
I got a story about Peaceful Easy Feeling too. When I graduated from college, me and a classmate moved to Panama City, Florida. Got our first jobs as engineers working for the Naval Coastal Systems Station in Panama City. And we hung out a lot because we didn't know anybody else. But every time the song Peaceful Easy Feeling would come on, he and I would sing with it. And when it was over, he would say, "Move over, Eagles."
Yeah. We would have it come on. Like, I think I turned on the car to drop you off for a deployment or something, and it came on. And then another time, you had just left for a deployment, and I was heading into a job interview, my final one, like a big one. And I held it together. I was doing well. Then I got in my car after the job interview, turned on my car, and Peaceful Easy Feeling came on. I just lost it at that point. So we had just left the day before. And these were like separate deployments too. These were like separate times that would come on. And a couple other instances like that where it was kind of a meaningful moment that it would just happen to come on.
Yeah. And Take It Easy was also a wedding song, wasn't it?
Just because it's probably my favorite, but I don't consider that so much to be like a song of ours. I just love that song. It's probably my favorite.
I was deployed and I made like a video recording of me playing one of those songs. Peaceful Easy Feeling. Sent it to you. Yeah, it's cool. They both have a similar vibe. They both have the word easy in them.
True. It's easy to confuse them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so good.
Good music though. Like the Eagles, they have a specific. Actually, I was going to say they have a specific vibe, and it's that kind of easy. There it is again. Like deserty country rock feeling. Yeah, almost Jimmy Buffett-esque in a way.
Summer vibe.
Yeah, it gives you a feeling.
I agree.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what makes them great.
At least the first few albums were that way. And I think they became their style became known as California rock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Appropriate.
Yeah, appropriate because they're like the only band in that genre, I think.
Yeah.
And then they had the album Desperado, which
Linda Ronstadt helped with that because their version of it wasn't so much a hit, and then she covered it, and then it blew up.
right. She covered the song Desperado, which made it popular.
Mm-hmm.
And before that happened, the album basically stank.
Yeah.
You know, stinky.
Mm-hmm.
But which was a letdown for them and the record producers and stuff, and the label.
Yeah.
So Don Felder joined them.
Fingers
Felder for On the Border, their third studio album. And I'm not sure where Meisner comes in. Well, it says Randy Meisner had been recruited by Linda Ronstadt. So I guess he was with them from the beginning, the 4 founding members. On the Border. You know anything about that one? It was released in '74, and it had 2 hits.
Doolin Dalton?
I think that was from Desperado.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah.
On the Border gave him the hit Already Gone,
Good.
which is not really in the California rock style, I guess, and also Best of My Love. Holy crap, that was a big hit.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah. And I guess Glenn Frey was doing most of the vocals at this point.
And then Don Henley kind of came a little bit later, it seems. Yeah.
Well, when did
they seem pretty equal to me?
Seven Bridges Road. At what point did that come out?
That started as a warm-up for Backstage, and then it was so good that they started.
Is that their own song?
I believe
they performed it in their concert shows. Megan's right. It was their warm-up song backstage before they go out in concert. And it's if you watch that documentary, it starts with them singing that.
That's right. Yeah.
The documentary is the history of the Eagles.
History of the Eagles.
Very good.
Yeah, it's like
4 hours long.
Make a lot of popcorn. It's 3.5 hours long.
But it's enjoyable the whole way through. I love that documentary. It's so good.
It really does. It flies by.
Yeah. It goes in depth with. Oh my gosh.
That's okay. Well, and getting back to Seven Bridges Road, that was never put on a studio album.
No way.
It was on their
best of
their first live album.
Oh, wow.
And that's the only place I found it. I don't think it's on a studio album, just that one live.
I don't think so either. Yeah, and they start their concerts that way too. Actually, 9 years ago today, Stephanie, our neighbor, and I went to Don Henley, which Kinsey was supposed to go to with me, but then your deployment got extended, I believe. So you were like 3 days late coming home. And so you missed it. So Steph and I went to Don Henley's concert at the Chateau Ste. Michelle Winery. And it was 6 rows from the stage. Amazing. It was so fun. And
it was just Henley there?
Yeah, okay. It was just Don Henley. Yeah. And he opened with Seven Bridges Road. And also when Kinsey and I went and saw the Eagles post Glenn Frey, unfortunately, but his son Deacon was taking his place. We saw them, and they opened with Seven Bridges Road as well. So awesome. Really cool.
Yeah. And so the lineup that we saw, they had Vince Gill also had subbed in for some of the Glenn Frey parts.
Yeah, that's right.
And Golden Throat, Don Henley was there.
Yeah.
And Joe Walsh.
Yep. On his little, what's it called? The
talk box up with his guitar.
Is that what it is? That instrument?
Yeah.
He must have done Rocky Mountain Way.
Yes. Yeah, it was fantastic. And he still rocks
so good.
He had quite a career.
Yeah.
That's one of the things. Another thing that makes the Eagles sound so unique is they really incorporated Jake Giles' band, or not Jake Giles' band, but what was Joe Walsh's? prior band.
James Gang.
James Gang. That sound is kind of woven very well within the Eagles sound.
Yeah.
You get a lot of that on Hotel California.
And basically, they had 2 lead guitarists.
Yeah.
Which I wouldn't say was atypical for that time, but I would say most bands didn't have that.
Yeah.
It was very distinctive with Bernie and Joe playing together.
Mm-hmm.
It's magical.
Yeah.
The sound of their guitars, especially during Hotel California.
Right.
Oh my God. Getting goosebumps.
Yeah. You could almost say there's 3 guitars on that one because whoever, Bernie or Felder, they're playing a double neck guitar, so they've got an acoustic and I think a 12 string on the same piece on the same guitar.
Okay.
2 necks, and which is similar to what they did on Stairway to Heaven with Led Zeppelin. Jimmy Page had that same style.
Okay.
SG Gibson guitar.
Basically a double neck guitar.
Yeah.
Acoustic one side, electric the other.
Right. And then so you got a second dueling guitar played by Joe Walsh.
Okay.
And all that cacophony of sound kind of plays out and gives you one of the most count it right up there with Led Zeppelin, Stairway to Heaven, 2 of the most epic songs of all time.
Yeah. Good headphone music too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, moving on a little bit. 1975, they released the album One of These Nights. And that was their first #1 album in the U.S. Of course, it had the #1 hit, One of These Nights. And Lion Eyes and Take It to the Limit.
Wow.
Come from that album as well. It's a great one. 1975. This doesn't pass the smell test with me, but Bernie left the band and was replaced by guitarist Joe Walsh.
I don't know the year. I'm not really good with the years and album sequences and stuff like Kinsey is.
But Bernie is on stage with Joe, like in their Hotel California tour, right?
If my recollection is correct, which it often is not, it's Joe Walsh and Felder were the architects of Hotel California.
Yeah.
You know, I keep getting Felden and Led mixed up.
Felden and Led.
Yeah. Felder and
just combine them into one.
Ledden was kind of a little butthole, wasn't he?
He comes across that way nowadays, yeah. But
he left the Eagles in 75, and he poured a beer over Glenn Fry's head.
I think there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that we're, as the audience, not privy to. So
I think that was on stage too.
A lot of bad blood there.
Yeah, and then
so Ledden's gone. Walsh comes in 75. Okay. Now they had really good success with their Greatest Hits album at that point.
Yeah,
Greatest Hits 71 to 75, which sold 38 million records. 38 million. I think that's worldwide, not just US.
I looked up numbers for that, if I could interject. And I saw the 38 million number, but then I went to Wikipedia and I pulled up the top selling albums of all time. And it just must be source dependent. But if you look at the Wikipedia article, they say 41.2 million. So 41 platinum, 41X. Because a platinum is a million certified sales.
Wow.
But to put that in a frame of reference, they're just behind, according to this article, Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon. And Michael Jackson's Thriller.
Okay.
Thriller has the #1 spot here at 51X platinum.
Crap.
Wow.
But it strikes me a little bit. You put 3 albums out and then you put out a Greatest.
Yeah.
Is that where that came out? They put
Yeah.
that one out.
It came out in 76.
Their best stuff came out in 1976.
The greatest
That's
hit,
wild.
71 to 75. It was
Wow.
released in 76. 38 million copies, according to my Wikipedia article.
Yeah. That's incredible because they had a sequel to that. They have 1976 and Beyond, right? The Eagles' Greatest Hits number 2. And I don't think that sold nearly as many, but it's got, I have both of those albums. I was raised on both of those albums. It's got just as many great hits on that second album as it does on the first one.
Yeah. Yeah. They had more to draw from by that time.
Yeah. What an incredible career.
But then in 1976, so the Greatest Hits album kind of primed them for the release of Hotel California. Wow.
Yeah.
What an album. I mean, the song itself, Hotel California, as you said earlier, it's on par with Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah.
And I prefer it, but that's just the way I am. New Kid in Town was a hit off of Hotel California, as well as the eponymous, the title song. Hotel California became their only top 10 hit in the United Kingdom. It also reached the top 10 in New Zealand and many European countries, which that had not happened to them. Great album. I was in the Air Force when that was released.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did it get a lot of airplay? That's a long song.
It got a shitload of airplay. Yeah, it's a long song, but they played it. Yeah. I was stationed in Las Vegas, okay, and the stations out there are a lot, or at that time, they were a lot more independent. Played whatever the hell they wanted.
Yeah, nice.
This is back in the day, so if they wanted to play a 12-minute song, they would.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's great. Okay, moving on. Randy Meisner was replaced in 1977 by who?
Timothy Schmidt, also from Poco.
Also from Poco.
Took his place in Poco and in the
Meisner,
Mr. Steele, your band.
Meisner and Schmidt both came from Poco.
Yep.
And it's funny, I was telling Kinsey earlier, I was watching a documentary or something, but they were interviewing Timothy B. Schmidt, and he said, "Yeah, I joined Poco, and a year later they disbanded. I joined the Eagles, and a year later they disbanded." Yeah. But he has that high tenor voice, almost falsetto. Just naturally high tenor voice, beautiful. I can't tell you why he was the lead vocalist on that song. Holy shit!
Yeah.
Take It to the Limit.
That was Randy.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So once Timothy came on board, they released the album The Long Run. Another great album.
Yep.
Yeah. Heartache Tonight, The Long Run, I Can't Tell You Why. Those are all from that album.
Life in the Fast Lane?
Life in the Fast Lane. Wasn't that from Hotel California?
I couldn't say.
Let me look.
Look it up, yeah.
Hotel California. Track list. Life in the Fast Lane. Side 1, Song 3 on the Wax LP. Hotel California's first song. New Kid in Town was the second. Life in the Fast Lane was third.
Okay.
On that album. Good.
Wait, on which one?
Hotel California.
Yeah, incidentally, Hotel California is 30. Oh, maybe I misquoted this. 32x platinum for Hotel California, and Eagles Greatest Hits 1971 through 1975, 41x platinum.
Yeah.
Very, very close.
Yeah. I mean, once you get above 10x platinum, it's just an amazing album.
Yeah.
And here they are at 30 and 40.
They're in an elite group.
Yeah.
Top 1% of the top 1% with Michael Jackson, Pink Floyd, AC/DC, Fleetwood Mac, and the Bee Gees.
Yeah.
So this is kind of incredible, but they broke up in 1980.
Mm.
The Eagles broke up in 1980, and I guess Schmidt had been with them 3 years at that. But they reunited in 1994.
Mm-hmm. After a Travis Tritt music video, they all got back together for Take It Easy. Yeah, Travis Tritt covered Take It Easy.
I remember that. I remember watching that video.
Oh, really?
Travis Tritt, he's singing the song, and all the Eagles members are. Travis Tritt's playing pool. They're in a bar, right? And they're all there. All the Eagles members are there.
As a cameo? Yep. They're not singing, right?
No,
as a cameo.
They're singing, but they don't sing.
Yeah.
And I remember a comedian at the time said, Travis, you got all the members there. Just shut up and let them sing.
Yeah, I think them getting together for that kind of began the healing process.
Yes. Yep.
Cool.
So they released, at that point, they released a new album, Hell Freezes Over, which has studio songs as well as live recordings on it.
Yeah.
And they went on tour. Huge tour at that time. And let's see, that was 1994 they released that. So, yeah.
And that album has a really nice rendition of Hotel California acoustic, right?
Acoustic, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
You're right.
It's a good one.
Yep. And they toured consistent. 2007, they released the album Long Road Out of Eden, and they started touring again. And the History of the Eagles tour was the name of that tour.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. It in conjunction with the documentary release, History of the Eagles. So those occurred at the same time, that tour and that documentary. Pretty cool. So our buddy Glenn Frey died in 2016.
Yeah, that's right. That was when we moved here, shortly after we moved to Washington.
Is it pneumonia? Something like that.
So.
But when they started touring again, Glenn's son, Deacon Fry, accompanied the Eagles as well as Vince Gill.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, they kind of started with Ronstadt.
Yep.
Something, I think one of Ronstadt's first or second backup band was called the Stone Ponies, but that was not the Eagles, right? Or were they a part of that and then they went left and became the Eagles?
Oh, I don't know what her band was called when they were with her. Not too sure. I'll watch later on.
What's the Jackson Brown tie-in?
He lived in the basement underneath Glenn Fry and J.D. Souther.
J.D. Souther.
Yeah,
That's right.
He lived under their apartment in the basement for like $35 a month.
That's right.
Crazy. Yeah, and so they heard his whole process of writing Dr. My Eyes, through the.
It's like, I remember them saying Jackson Brown would work 3 hours and play this one part of the song 200 times.
Yeah.
And then he would take a break, make some tea, and go back to it and do it the next one 200 times again.
Yeah.
and that's how he wrote his songs. I think Glenn Fry learned a lot from songwriting.
Yeah.
So that's a good tie-in.
For sure.
And also, you want to tell this? Jackson Brown had started the song, started writing the song "Take It Easy."
Yep.
But he was stuck after the first line.
Yeah.
Right.
He was stuck, and so then Glenn Fry came in and finished with "It's a Girl, My Lord," in a flatbed Ford slowing down to take a look at me.
Right.
And so they co-wrote "Take It Easy."
Yeah, they did.
Very cool.
Yep.
My dad had his own lyrics for that song.
Oh yeah. What were they?
Oh, yeah. You want to share?
I don't know if.
Should we mute the mics?
Actually, I think my first exposure to the band was with my dad. My mom and dad had split when I was young, so when I would spend time with my dad, he was a state away, and so he'd come grab me for like a weekend or a school vacation or whatever. And the drive to his place, or where that side of the family was, his side of the family, like an hour and a half drive. So whenever I would drive with him, uh, I would always get like exposure to these classic bands. So a lot of my musical tastes formed during those times. And he'd play the Eagles' Best Of. He had those two albums. I think this is before CDs. I think he must have had them on tape, play them in the tape deck, and played those nonstop amongst some other classics. And that was in there. And every time it came to that point, you might have to pause while I remember. He says, what are the beginning lyrics to the song?
Standing on a corner in Winslow, Arizona, such a fine sight to see.
It's a girl, my lord,
in a flatbed. Take a look at it. Come on, baby. Say maybe.
I think of the very beginning.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil. Like I could say it, but I don't want to spoil it.
We can come back to that.
Yeah.
Okay. So in total, they only had 7 studio albums. That's remarkable. But
Yeah.
I mean, just the first 3, they cut that 42-time platinum.
Yeah.
Best of album just from the first 3 albums. So
amazing.
It's almost like they could have stopped there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they didn't.
Oh. Well, I'm running down the road trying to loosen my load. I've got 7 women on my mind. 4 that want to own me, that want to blow me. One says she's a friend of mine.
You told me about that before. Yeah. So
that was probably the original lyric.
Yeah. It's the secret story behind the song.
Well, they did win some Grammys too. I think they won 6 Grammys in total over their lifespan. The Eagles. There's not much more to say about them. I was seeing something in here about a Bernie Ledden lawsuit.
Oh.
Apparently, he sued him for some reason.
Oh gosh.
He was fired, and he responded by filing 2 lawsuits against Eagles Limited.
And they settle out of court.
Yeah. It looks like he just didn't feel like he was paid enough money.
Yeah, I think a lot of it came down to the money, where Glenn and Henley were taking the majority of the credits and the royalties, and they felt that the other band members weren't deserving of an equal cut. And I guess that wasn't reciprocal. So I think that had a hand in leading to his departure from the band, and then subsequent tell-all style book called Heaven and Hell, I think.
That he wrote?
Yeah. And I think he dished on some of the dirt, but I don't think he told everything. I think that they ended up settling out of court, and some of that dirt got swept under the rug. I think he was quoted as saying something like, if he really wanted to like get dirty and destroy the band, he could have, but he wanted to take the high road, even though he really was saying a lot of untoward things about the other band members.
Well, there's
two sides, three.
One of the big ingredients in that story is sour grapes.
Yeah.
But yeah, he wrote the book Heaven and Hell: My Life and the Eagles.
To read that one. I haven't read that one.
So I guess that's it for the Eagles. Have we run out of talking material, or is there anything else we want to add?
I was thinking about what makes them such a successful band over the decades, and I think one of the things is they had an incredible sound that was their own, the LA sound.
Right.
But they were also really good at adapting to the different genres of music over time. Like as trends change, like they really got good at a lot of different styles of music. Not just kind of like dipping a toe in the water. Like they really nailed some of these things. Like they nailed the disco sound and the disco era.
Yeah, I agree. I think they grew.
Yeah.
They weren't stagnant.
Yeah.
After their first album or two, they
Right.
grew with the way things were moving.
Yeah.
With music,
and that's true musicianship, to be able to adapt and grow like that. Yeah. Stretch your legs and be unafraid of like you've already got a hit album. Yeah. A hit band, and so a lot of times you don't want to vary from that formula. You want to stay on track, but they did it. They did it well. Yeah.
Now I know Don Henley. He had 3 or 4 solo albums after the Eagles. Randy Meisner had one. Of course, Joe Walsh had a lot of them before the Eagles. I don't think anybody else.
Glenn Frey did. I know he did In the City. Not too familiar otherwise, though, with the other solo thing. I know Don Henley's big one was All She Wants to Do Is Dance.
Boys of Summer?
Yes. Oh, so good.
Yeah, his first solo album was a big hit for him.
Yeah.
Boys of Summer, that's a great song.
Yeah. I know Glenn Frey tried dipping his toe in acting a little bit. He guest starred on a,
sitcom?
I think it took
Hawaii
place in
Five-0 or something?
Yeah, Hawaii Five-0, I think it was. That was what came to mind.
The one in Miami.
Miami Vice. That's
Miami
it.
Vice.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I was trying to think
Vice.
of it. I was thinking Miami, and then
Yeah.
But yeah, he did that as well, looking very 80s.
Yeah. Glorious.
Yeah.
That hair.
Yeah. And their music just stands the test of time. Like Logan, my son, his favorite song was "Take It to the Limit" for like a long time. But he called it "Take It to the Lemon" because he was like 5 years old. It's his favorite song.
And we're talking about
he's got good taste.
We're talking about my grandson Logan, Megan's son, and I think at one point he was listening to the Eagles with you in the car, and he asked you who it was. Yeah. You said, "That's the Eagles." He says, "Well, they sound like people."
He's like, "The Eagles? But they sound like people." That's awesome. I'm so glad you recalled that.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Kid's got good taste in music. He grew up on some good music, and Journey came on in the car, and he was rocking out, and then he went, "This is the rock star song." So cute. It was Wheel in the Sky that was playing.
Yeah. Well, he's the one that came up with the idea for me to talk about Kansas. Yeah. I did last episode. Yep. And just the other day he said, "Oh, maybe you should talk about the band Rush."
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Suggestion.
Like, wow, kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mom raised you right.
Yeah. Yep. Raised with all good music.
Very smart kid.
Yeah. He'll have to guest star someday.
Yeah, he's all grown-y now.
Yeah. He'll talk about 21 Pilots.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's it for the Eagles. I'm going to hit the pause button for now, and we'll be back with you. Thank you.
After our sponsor.
Hi there, y'all. This is Maggie Mae Dalton. I'm here to invite y'all to the grand opening of my new barbershop here in Scratch Ankle, Alabama. You might know it as Floyd's old barbershop, but he ain't been the same since he got that skillet to the head. So come on down to my grand opening, enjoy you some mighty fine music from Earl's Jug Band, chat out on some fried green tomatoes, and have a mason jar of the finest shine this side of the Mississippi. So come on down to the grand opening of Maggie Mae's Chop Shop with a free pork chop with every haircut.
Okay, Barrel Full of Daryl, still rolling here. My son-in-law, my wonderful son-in-law, Kenzie, is still with me.
Hello.
Hi, Kenzie.
Hey there.
Megan, we've lost Megan. Well, we haven't lost her. We know where she is, but she's out and about. So Kenzie and I are going to discuss with you the movie The Big Lebowski. It's a Coen Brothers film. Hopefully you know who they are. They've done so many great movies. Of course, I talked about one of their movies, which was not a comedy. It was No Country for Old Men. And in its own right, fantastic movie. What are some of their other movies that they've done, Kenzie?
Well, when they made Big Lebowski, they were coming right off the tail end of very successful Fargo.
Fargo.
Right, that came out in 1996. Fargo won big, big for awards, and it really, I think, made the name for the Coen brothers at the time.
I agree.
Kind of their breakthrough. I actually looked up. They had gotten nominations for Best Picture that year, 96-97 season for the Oscars. Also nomination for Best Director, Best Actor, and they won for Best Leading Actress and Best Writing. Which, well deserved. They also had, as part of that cast for Fargo, Steve Buscemi, who came on as cast member for The Big Lebowski, which was their follow-up movie, 1998.
Right.
But gosh, those guys, what a career on them. They've also been known for
Raising Arizona.
Raising Arizona, one of your favorites.
That's in my top 5.
Yeah,
definitely. Most of their movies are comedic.
Mm-hmm.
Big Lebowski certainly is.
Yeah.
But they've got a few that were more of a serious tone. But Lebowski, like Kinsey said, it came on the tail of their mega hit movie Fargo, which is, if you haven't seen that one, you got to see that one too. But I would say that The Big Lebowski came out and it was not as well received.
No, it wasn't.
It's a stoner movie, right?
You could definitely say that. I mean, the main character, Jeff Lebowski, he is the quintessential stoner. He's a hero for a lot of the stoner culture, I think. Just the way he presents himself. I mean, how many joints does he go through while he's in the midst of it? And that's not something you see, or at least used to see in too many movies, just outside of like a Cheech and Chong or something like
Very
that.
true. Very true.
At the time, though, they the Coens coming off the heels of Fargo, you're probably expecting something successful. In the box office, they only made $19 million domestically.
Wow.
Off of a $15 million budget. So they maybe made their money back, sans advertising fees. So it was a flop by all measures, not very well received. But the strength of the movie is in the cult following that it has.
Yeah, that's part of it. Over the years since its release, it's gained a cult following. And in some cities, they even have like an annual Lebowski festival.
Yeah.
So you're right. It's done well over the years, and I don't know if the Coen brothers are seeing any of that money. I hope they are.
Oh, they have.
Yeah. But the premise is the Big Lebowski. In the movie, there are two Lebowskis. There's the dude, or just Lebowski, and then there's the Big Lebowski.
Deuterino.
The Deuterino, yeah, the dude.
If you're not into the whole brevity thing.
And then the Big Lebowski is actually an elderly man in a wheelchair whose young trophy wife gets kidnapped, and he sends some thugs to Lebowski and asking for the money. Where's the money, Lebowski? And they end up going to, Jeff Bridges, the dude, Lebowski, his house, instead of the Big Lebowski, the guy that actually has the wife that he's in the wheelchair. So it's a little bit of a mix up on that, and a lot of hilarity ensues because of that. So that's the basic premise, but the movie is just replete. It's rife with just one-liner comments. The dialogue is amazing,
endlessly quotable. There's so many things that I use on a daily basis as far as quotes. It's just woven into my my lexicon. Like I can't not say some of these things as the occasion rises. The dude abides, and the dude, man, the rug really tied the room together. Whenever something tied is crucial, it always ties the room together.
Yeah,
for me.
yeah. That and what you're talking about there is near the beginning of the movie, after the woman is kidnapped, the dude he's he just came home from shopping, or was he in the bathtub? No, he just came home from shopping or something. And some guys, the two thugs, break into his apartment. And one of the guys, well, one of the guys is putting his head down, putting Lebowski's head down the toilet, saying, "Where's the money, Lebowski? Where's the money, Lebowski?" It's funny. Jeff says, "I'm not sure. Just let me look one more time. I'm sure it's down there somewhere."
It's down there somewhere.
and
what a
then,
cool response.
And then he sits on the toilet, and the guy that was dunking him holds up this bowling ball and says, "What is this?" And Lebowski says, "Obviously, sir, you are not a golfer." But the other guy's in the living room, and he pisses on Lebowski's rug. And it was the rug that tied the room together, which is another one of the famous quotes that Kinsey just mentioned.
Yeah.
So it's it's that kind of stuff, and it's great. And I'll say this about the movie: the first time I watched it, I wasn't that impressed, because I mean, the storyline is crazy, the characters are crazy, and you really have to follow it pretty well to get what's going on. But I will say that I've probably watched it 6 or 7 or 8 or 12 times since then. And with each watching, I see the depth of the movie.
Yeah.
The movie it's got all these layers about what's going on, and I appreciate it a lot more now than I did on my first viewing. So if you haven't seen it, you're going to watch it, you got to give it at least 2 viewings. You got to promise me
I would
that.
agree with that. I think I had a similar reaction the first time that I watched it. But what helped me along with it was, so the movie came out in 1998. The setting, it takes place in 1991. When I watched it, it was probably early 2000s, so it wasn't really too old, but already in the early 2000s, it was starting to gather a following. And when I watched it, it was kind of it was probably with a group of people, or we were all about college age, and we were all probably drinking heavily, in that time frame, and not just watching the movie, but it was kind of the right time for us. And so, if I were to go into the movie blind, it's a weird movie. Like, the genre is kind of strange for it. Like, you don't really know how to pin it down.
True.
But what helped me is my friends had all been quoting it. I was on a submarine at the time, so we all working on a submarine. We all lived in very close quarters on this boat, and we're all quoting these lines, and me even quoting lines that I had picked up from my friends who had been quoting the movie. I don't know what I'm saying, but it's funny, and it's just these things, they kind of get under your skin. They become part of your vernacular, and then now you're seeing it on the screen. You're like, oh, that's where that comes. That's where that comes from. That's where that comes from, and it just kind of makes it so much more enjoyable from the get go.
Yeah. We just watched this a couple of days ago, right?
Yeah.
And one thing that we noted is, and I'm sure we had noticed it before, but we really noted it this time, was like, say, the setting is 1991 and George Bush is the president, and he's talking about the attacks on somewhere in the middle.
It was Desert Storm.
Desert Storm, and Bush is on TV, and I guess this is maybe in the grocery store. Lebowski's shopping, and he sees Bush on TV, and one thing Bush says is,
"This aggression will not stand."
Yeah, this aggression will not stand, man. And he uses that later in the movie.
Yeah.
And that happens several times in the film. And it's just that kind of stuff that you catch after watching it several times. It makes you appreciate the movie even more, and it even makes you want to go back and watch it again.
Yeah, I think that's a credit to the writing, Owens.
Oh, yeah.
They're mad geniuses, but the way they do the characters in the movie, every character has so much depth to them. And I think that's kind of an exemplification of it. You see the little Lebowski, Jeff Lebowski, the stoner. He, as the movie progresses, he's picking up information within the movie. and using it in his own dialogue later, like that.
Yeah.
Aggression will not stand. There's probably 3 or 4 different instances where he picks up a line from somebody, and in character uses it later on.
Yeah. So just to let you know, some of the rest of the cast: John Goodman, plays a Vietnam War vet, and he's outstanding. Steve Buscemi plays this little milk toasty type of guy.
Yeah.
Donnie,
kind of a submissive, quiet friend.
Yeah. And then who plays the sister? Or
Julianne Moore is Maud Lebowski.
Julianne Moore.
Yeah. The daughter of the Big Lebowski.
The daughter of the Big Lebowski. Yeah.
Philip Seymour Hoffman is the manservant.
Yeah.
The butler of the
Big Lebowski.
Tara Reid, the wife.
Yeah.
Of the Big Lebowski.
Big cast, really.
Fantastic cast. Yeah. A lot of these folks, maybe at the height of their powers as actors. I mean, they're all turning in incredible performances.
Yeah.
But a lot of these guys, before they really were made, man, Bridges had done a ton of movies, but I think this was probably his biggest.
Yeah. It's certainly the one he's most recognized for now.
Yeah. And if you listen to those guys talk, the 3 between Buscemi, Goodman, and Jeff Bridges, I think this is the one that they get approached on the street from the average.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, no doubt. Yeah. And by the way, they're all 3 of them, they are on a bowling team. And probably a third of the movie, if not a half of it, occurs in the bowling alley. And it's with them bickering and bantering. And poor Donnie, played by Steve Buscemi, I mean, he tries to interject into their conversations. And the John Goodman character, Walter, says, "Shut up, Donnie. You're out of your element, Donnie. Shut the fuck up, Donnie." Constantly. You know, that's about all he ever says. That's about all anybody ever says to the character Donnie in the movie. Yeah.
You know, Buscemi didn't even want to play the role at first.
Really?
He was approached by the Coens, and he was there for Fargo, and I assume they loved his performance in that. They loved working with him, and then decided he'd be great for the Donnie role.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly fits the bill, I think, physically. But he read through the script, and this is according to his own account. He said, "I really like this character, Donnie. He seems a little too meek. He's always getting kind of bullied around by Walter, and he's like, I don't know how I'm going to tell the Coen brothers that I don't want to do this film." But then, as he got through the script and towards the end, I don't know if we want to get into that part, but at the end, there's a cathartic moment between Jeff Lebowski, the main character, and Walter regarding Donnie. And he said that's the moment that sealed the deal for him. He's like, it's more than just these guys bullying up on little Donnie. It's there's a real relationship there.
Yeah.
And
you're talking about when he dies in the movie. Yeah, Donnie dies of a heart attack. And crazy scene. But then they decide to cremate him. Mm-hmm. And so they go to this funeral home, and we need to have our friend cremated. And funeral home director starts trying to sell them these fancy urns for the ashes, and they're like $3,000, $5,000. And they said, well, don't you have anything cheaper, some kind of economy model? And he said, no, we don't. And they asked, is there a Ralph's around here, which is a grocery store? So they come back with an empty coffee can, and that's what they put Donnie's ashes in.
Yeah. And but the moment they're giving his eulogy, I think that's where you see, like, it's there's more than just the bravado of the character Walter.
Yeah.
There's a touching, heartfelt moment. They really love Donnie. He's an integral part of that trio.
Yeah. Sam Elliott, he's the narrator.
Yes.
And he shows up in the movie as a cowboy. Yeah. Speaks to the dude a couple of times, and he's not a big part of the movie, but
makes a big impact.
He does make a big impact. That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
We have a couple other character bit parts like that, like John Turturro as Jesus Quintanilla, the Jesus, dressed in purple like Prince. What a role for him.
Yeah, just no. Don't fuck with the Jesus man.
Don't fuck with the Jesus man. Perfect. Perfectly cast. Perfectly played.
And he's only in the movie for what, 2 minutes?
Maybe he's got, I think, 2 scenes.
Okay.
And my goodness, he unforgettable.
Unforgettable. Yeah. Because Walter, John Goodman's character, had he always dresses like in fatigues and stuff, and their opponents in this one bowling competition, whatever it was, one of them, Walter said he stepped over the line.
Over the line,
mark it, over the line, and the guy comes over and he's arguing with him about it, and Walter pulls out a pistol and cocks it, and he basically points it at the guy, saying, mark it down, 0. But then later on, Jesus, John Turturro, shows up in the movie, and he's bowling, and he makes a strike, and he's leaving the lanes, and he sees little Lebowski there and Walter, and he basically tells Walter, if you ever pull a gun on me, I'll shove it up your ass and pull the trigger until it goes click.
Until it goes click.
Till it goes click.
Yeah, so good. And just a few lines. A lot of these guys are like that. They just have a couple lines of dialogue and they make so much out of it.
Yeah.
You just chew it. All these guys are scenery chewers. Every set is amazing. That's another thing. Like, in even talking about the layers of the movie, like the set designers had really created something that feels lived in. Like, you can take any frame of the movie, pause it, and look around in the background, and you're gonna see shit that, like, it lends itself to the character, how they live. Like, you really pick out a lot of detail if you just kind of look around in the background. And that's one of those things that as you watch it over and over again, at least I find myself going, wow, he's got this book on his shelf and that book. He's got this bowling pin shaped bowl in his ashtray that the cops are messing around with. There's so many little details that would fly right under the radar the first time or two that you're watching it.
Yeah.
And then as you go back and you know more about the characters and you know like how things make sense to the character in relation.
And speaking of, there is a tie-in to the band The Eagles.
Yeah.
In this movie. So Lebowski gets arrested, and the sheriff he's just, oh God, he hates Lebowski. He's just, stay out of my neighborhood, Lebowski. And they get him a taxi home when they release him from jail, and he gets in the back seat of this taxi, and the driver has the Eagles playing on the radio, and Lebowski says, change the channel, man. I hate the fucking Eagles, or something like that. Is that close to it?
Yeah. I hate the fucking Eagles. Yeah. I think he says it a couple times. He really likes CCR, but he hates the fucking Eagles.
Yeah. And the cab driver actually pulls over and throws him out of the cab.
I don't blame him. Eagles are a great band.
Yeah, I agree.
Speaking of, let me go through the different bands on the soundtrack, because I was thinking about this the other night when we were watching it. Like, soundtracks in the 90s were a whole different animal than they are today. I don't know if they do it anymore, but it was like an art form back then. And I'm sure there was different emphasis on a soundtrack, because with the internet, things are a little different today and how they advertise. And the tie-ins back then were maybe a little bit more important. But for this movie, 1998, it came out with a lot of classic rock and other types of songs on it. You have on this soundtrack Bob Dylan. You have the Eagles. You have the Gypsy Kings doing a rendition, like a flamenco rendition of the Hotel California song.
Yeah.
CCR is in there. Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Yeah.
Elvis Costello, Captain Beefheart. Townes Van Zandt doing a cover of Rolling Stone's Dead Flowers. Kenny Rogers, Elvis, Santana.
Wow.
Maybe even more I've missed, but I mean, just look at those, right?
That's huge.
You could do a Barrel Full of Daryl podcast on any of those.
True. That's true. Yeah, that's like with the I recently talked about Pastimes of Ridgemont High, And that was early 80s or something like that. And the soundtrack for that movie was just over the top, much like this one. Soundtracks used to be a big thing. If you release a movie you put good music in it, and then you release a tie-in soundtrack album to go with it. And I don't think you see that much of that.
Doesn't seem like it. No. Once in a while. And sometimes you get in the movie, they call it a needle drop now, and you have a big song, but it's a little bit more obvious when they do it. It's like, oh, you're just doing it for the.
Yeah.
You're basically making a music video within your movie. This is not the same. It's
not the same because it's more subliminal.
Yeah, and I think it kind of lends itself to the movie rather than the other way around. You're serving the movie.
That's right.
With your music,
you're helping the movie along in the storyline instead of the music is the movie.
Yeah,
or a main part of the movie. That's not the case,
right?
Except for a few scenes with the CCR.
Mm-hmm. That's a needle. There's a needle drop.
That's a needle drop.
He's in the car and he's grooving. He's pounding on the ceiling of his car and
beating on the steering wheel and singing.
He's jamming out, and it's something that's another character trait that you pick up on. You're like, that's just like me. I am the dude. Yeah. The dude is me, and I think that helps people identify with it.
And I think. Is that scene where he's got this really tiny joint and he's trying to get the last bit out of it, and he drops it in his lap and he starts bouncing around in the car trying to get this joint from burning his ass, and he wrecks the car into a dumpster. Yeah.
He's the lovable loser we all identify with, I think.
He is. I guess it has a happy ending. We didn't cover the plot too much, but that's okay.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I feel like most people listening to this you either love Lebowski or you don't, unless you're maybe in a different generation, a little younger, and probably don't know of it yet. And it'll be interesting to see how it carries through the generations. I was just saying that I had shown the trailer to Logan, our son, 14 years old now. Or 15, actually. I don't know that he would go and see this movie. Well, certainly based on the trailer from the 90s, it's not appealing. It wasn't a well-crafted trailer. Maybe that had something to do with the box office results at the time, too. But by today's standards, it doesn't hold up. It's just a smattering of scenes from the movie that don't really have any coherence.
It just jumps around.
Yeah. So I'm not sure even that I would see that trailer and want to go see the movie. But the cultural significance of it, I mean, it's within guys like us, like of kind of these generations that were around and of the age when it came out. Does it translate through the generations? That'll have yet to be seen, I guess.
Well, so I'm 20 years older than you.
Yeah.
Right? So there's a generation there.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
But honestly, you are one of the most encyclopedic people I know, and you dig this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You like, if the movie has that much depth and meaning, you will like it and you'll watch it repeatedly. Yeah. And this is that kind of movie.
That's true. Because you look at older movies from even before, in the 70s or before then, and they do carry on through culture because of how well crafted they are.
Yeah.
Despite what the zeitgeist is at the time.
I mean, it's the antithesis of a comic book movie. You know?
Yeah, it's a good way.
Comic book movie, you got this single story arc, and the hero wins, and everybody turns out great and happy. But this is not like that at all. Like I said, there's just so many layers to it, so many things that you didn't see it the first time, but damn, you caught it that next time.
Yeah.
Whether it be part of the scenery or part of the dialogue, and that's what makes the movie fantastic to me.
Yeah. To that point, have you heard of the movie The Big Sleep?
Yes, I've seen it.
You've seen it?
Long time. I mean, it's an old movie.
Okay, so this is something I learned recently. The Big Lebowski is essentially a retelling of The Big Sleep.
Really?
Yeah. I looked up the synopsis of The Big Sleep. I haven't seen it, and I'd like to. I'd really like to watch it.
Robert Mitchum? See him?
I'm not sure. Humphrey Bogart, though. He was the lead.
Okay.
And the Big Sleep is your classic noir detective in a dark office smoking a cigarette type of movie. Private Dick Humphrey Bogart is hired to help resolve the gambling debts of his wild young daughter. As he gets deeper into the case, he discovers that the situation is far more complex than it appears.
Wow.
Right?
That's Big Lebowski.
Yeah.
That's the same.
That's exactly it.
That's the same synopsis.
Yeah, there's a few things in, if you go deeper into the synopsis of it, that they're kind of like rearranged and moved around, I think, to serve the story of the Big Lebowski and make it their own. But I think that's the skeleton for what they're doing in the Big Lebowski.
I think you're absolutely right. And the Big Sleep, the Big Lebowski. I mean,
very obvious,
right?
I don't think they were trying to hide it at all. I think that maybe it very much like Tarantino. There's a lot of similarities between the Coen brothers and what they do stylistically, kind of reshaping things from the past in the same way that Tarantino does.
That's true. That's true. I had not heard that analogy before for the Big Sleep. And after hearing the synopsis, makes total sense to me.
Yeah.
That they have shaped the movie The Big Lebowski after the Big Sleep. And they did that with Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Right.
They based it on the story, the epic poem, The Odyssey.
Yeah.
And, loosely, sure. But it has a lot of the same.
Great point.
Yeah. A lot of the same storyline. So they're borrowing from these older stuff that really we don't know about.
No, but it continues to resonate because of what it is.
I think that's part of it. I think, they borrow from this great stuff and reshape it and bring it to us in this new form.
Yeah.
We're like, holy shit, this is great.
Right.
They're not remaking a comic book movie. They're taking this, I don't know, almost enigmatic story and bringing it forward to us in the future.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's a movie. It's about a stoner. It's about a guy who smokes a joint through the whole movie, but it's a thinking man's movie. I think it is.
Yeah. Certainly. It can be kind of whatever you want it to be. It's you can. I'll play a game with you later about the drinking game that you can do with this movie, and it can be as simple as that. And that's probably something I've done in the past. But it's that it's a retarded party movie, or you can sit there and analyze it probably for days.
Yeah.
Pick it apart, and it kind of works on so many different levels.
The thing about it, and the thing about all Coen Brothers movies is they don't just hand shit to you. They don't spoon feed you the storyline. They present it to you, and you have to think about it. You have to do a little analysis. You have to watch it 2 or 3 times, and there it is. It becomes obvious to you that these guys really did a good movie with all these layers, and I can watch it again and again and still love it every time. Still laugh my ass off
every single time. So the drinking game, if you went into the movie, you could do a drinking game and end up comatose by the end of it if you drink every time that you see the dude get White Russian. And while you're doing your drinking game, you should be drinking White Russians, because that's the traditional drink of Big Lebowski. But every time he gets cream in his mustache, you drink. You can drink every time he repeats something that he learned in the movie. Every time you hear an iconic quote, which is, my God, every 30 seconds there's something iconic they say. Yeah. Every dude, man, rug, every rug that tied the room together. Every time they say fuck. Every time they finish. Oh, you finish a drink every time that all 4 of those words dude, man, rug, and fuck are used in the same sentence. And here's some stuff that I looked up. For frame of reference, right? There's 292 F-bombs in The Big Lebowski. That's number 42 on Wikipedia's list of most F-bombs in a movie. I didn't even know this list existed. Wolf of Wall Street is the honorary number one, but technically at number 3, they have 569 F-bombs in Wolf of Wall Street.
Wow.
Number 1 and 2 are held by some obscure movies. Number 1 is a movie called SwearNet. Looks like an independent movie. I've never heard of it. 2014. It has 935 F-bombs. I don't even know if that's watchable. But
they probably just sit around and say fuck.
Yeah, I think the premise of
movie.
the movie has something to do with swearing. Yeah. So it's kind of like a gimmick almost. And I don't know, I've never seen it. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's kind of how it appeared to me, just on the surface. But yeah, such a fun movie. I mean, you can watch it in many different ways, and you're going to have a blast every time.
Yeah. Let me say this before I forget it. My buddy Kenzie here, he's the one that created my intro and outro music. Won't say which song it is. I don't want to expose myself. Some of you, I think, have figured out which song he is playing, but we'll leave it at that. And I only get to see Kenzie like twice a year, and it's always a real treat when I get to spend time with him, as well as my daughter Megan. And I just want to thank Kenzie and Megan for being a part of this special episode.
Oh, it's our pleasure.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Yeah. We should do it more often.
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah, this has been fun.
Okay. Anything else?
Yes.
Okay, good.
One last thing. Let's go into the word of the day for the Barrelful of Daryl podcast.
Okay.
Veterans. Micturate.
Miturate.
Micturate.
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 M-I-C-T.
U-R-A-T-E.
Micturate.
That means to urinate.
Yeah.
And I have a bonus word of the day. Actually, I might have 2. This is one I learned while watching while watching the movie just a couple days ago. Pederast. I had always thought it was a straight 1-for-1 substitute for pedophile, but it's not. It's specific to boys, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A man.
The male.
A man having desire for younger boys, younger men.
Yeah,
that's pederast, and that and the word micturate come up in the Big Lebowski.
Yes, I should point that out. These are all sourced from the movie itself.
Yeah,
great dialogue, great writing. They certainly earned that Oscar win for the writing in the movie. The last word of the day that I have: satyriasis. Satyriasis. S-A-T-Y-R-I-A-S-I-S.
Is that the female type?
That is the male version of nymphomaniac. Or nymphomania, I suppose.
Okay.
The tense consistent. Satyriasis. So a man would suffer from satyriasis.
Okay.
A female would suffer from nymphomania.
Interesting.
Yeah.
There's one more line in that movie that just popped in my mind, and for some reason, the Big Lebowski is crying. I guess this is, I can't remember where in the movie, but he's sitting in his wheelchair in front of the fire, and he's crying.
Yes.
And he's saying, "Strong men cry too.
Right.
Strong men cry too." That's what makes a man. And he asked Lebowski, "Isn't that what makes a man?" Lebowski says, "Yeah, sure, that and a pair of testicles."
Yeah.
And I swear, I'm sure.
And there's some cultural relevance in that today, I think, as well.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Yeah.
And, I'm sure that line flew by me once or twice when I first started watching the movie, but you kind of pick up on that shit as you go. The more you watch it,
very sharp, very witty.
Yep. All right. I guess we're going to wrap it up with that.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you, Kenzie. appreciate it. It's been a good discussion, and we'll do it again sometime.
All right, the dude abides.
Dude abides. Thanks, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Talk to you soon. Bye.